It's not really about this story in this episode itself, but it's a fascinating behind the scenes moment. So Gene Roddenberry had this attorney, Leonard Maeslish, who, the attorneys have to look at everything. So they to make sure that they're not violating, somebody's rights or whatever. So this attorney would get these scripts in the first season, and he's supposed to approve them and pass them on. He was rewriting episodes. He was inserting changing lines, inserting whole scenes, deleting scenes, like rewriting, and then claiming it was Roddenberry who apparently was for the Code of Honor in this episode. Apparently Roddenberry was away or something like that.
Roddenberry was drunk a lot of the time at this point.
Yeah, I think Memory Alpha is being a little bit kind to Roddenberry on that. And so eventually Rick Berman, who was the supervising producer at the time, he eventually became in charge of all of Star Trek, confronted Maeslish and Roddenberry, along with the other producers like Robert Justman, and sent him a demand, and basically said, if DC Fontana is well within her rights to go to the WGA, the Writers Guild of America, the Writers Union, and file a lawsuit against Roddenberry, Maeslish, and Paramount for a violation of her rights as a writer. For him, he as a lawyer, he has no role in editing her scripts, changing her scripts. Producers can, the showrunner can, but not the lawyer. And so, they confronted him, and he finally had to back down. And apparently, Rob Justman, according to Memory Alpha, called Maeslish personally and ripped him up one side and down the other for having the gall to insert his own material in a script. I can imagine that Maeslish must have thought of himself as like a frustrated screenwriter of some sort and wanted to insert things, because apparently he thought Wesley should have a lot more role in the show and all that sort of stuff. So I just think it's kind of a fascinating little behind the scenes of what was going on at the very beginning of Next Gen. And the chaos that was really behind the scenes.
And if you want to know more about that, there's a documentary called Chaos on the Bridge, all about Leonard Maeslish and the problems he caused and the other problems at the beginning.